get to otherwise. This one's from Stefan Dukic.
Thank you. Mr. Zygar, you have previously said that Trump is exactly the kind of partner that the Kremlin has wanted for years. Why do you believe this, and what are the chances that the two will clash due to their personalities?
I've never thought that there are any real connections between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. And
you mean no financial connections? Because
yes,
obviously that's what people want to know at this point. So you believe there's no corruption behind the scenes?
I really do not believe in any corruption schemes. And I'll start from something a bit different from than you ask. When I'm listening to American media, when I'm watching like CNN documentary, The Most Powerful Man in the World, and that's about Vladimir Putin. When I see the latest cover of The Time with White House transforming itself into Kremlin, it reminds me a lot about the conspiracy theories I hear and I watch on Russian television. Because Russian TV is obsessed with conspiracy theory that there is CIA conspiracy behind the plan to dismantle Russia, to ruin the Russian state. There is a huge plot inspired by Americans, like to overthrow Vladimir Putin and so on. And
so, are you suggesting is it about the CIA influence in Georgia and Ukraine and those places?
That's the theory that Russian television says. If you change the word CIA for Putin, that's the new theory of mainstream American media. That's just the same conspiracy theory we've been watching for many years, and it's very new in the West. And I'm really surprised with all that. I don't want to say anything about Trump's idea about witch hunt, but most of those reports seem to me a bit inaccurate. But speaking about how Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump suit each other, yes, they suit each other a lot. For many years, Vladimir Putin was looking for a partner he could deal with. He hates when he's being lectured about human rights. He does not believe in all those liberal values, blah, blah, blah. He always thinks that he's cheated. He has been cheated by Barack Obama, by Angela Merkel. So he has always wanted to have a partner like Silvio Berlusconi.
He's found one.
A cynical, pragmatic guy. And that's
isn't it, Mikhail, it's a bit worse than that even, isn't it? Because apparently his favourite US president is actually a fictional character called Frank Underwood.
Yes. I was really surprised when I've heard that for the first time, that he recommends his freshly appointed ministers to watch all the seasons of House of Cards, because you must know the enemy. That's how the American system works. You must watch it all, and you're going to understand what we're facing. So he really believes that's all true, and he thinks that he could deal with Frank Underwood. So that's why he can deal with Donald Trump. Absolutely.
I'm going to bring in Paul. What do you think about this Vladimir Putin that we're hearing about here, who would quite like to have a relationship with a fictional US president from the House of Cards, and maybe thinks that Donald Trump is kind of similar?
I don't know. What Mikhail is saying is kind of, I mean, it's older than just now. I mean, in psychology, there's a theory called the mirror hypothesis, which is when people are on these two antipodal extremes, and you ask them separately, what do you think about them? What do you think about those people? Their answers mirror exactly, And so this is just age old, recast now because of what's happening in the States, and Putin. So that's really interesting to hear you say that,
But I worry about putting Putin and Trump on the same pedal. Putin is a strategic guy. He thinks. Well, he
strategic guy. Oh, please.
Well, he thinks
Russia
about.
hasn't got a strategy in economy, in domestic policy,
I'm talking about
in foreign policy.
In terms of power. You don't think he's strategic in terms of power?
No.
He's done a good job of maintaining it.
I'm sure.
Oh, interesting.
So, I mean, it wasn't by accident, Mikhail, that he managed to take the Crimea, that he has organised destabilisation of the Ukraine, that the same thing is happening in the Baltic states, you know, since they became members of NATO. I mean,
that's all different things. He had a plan. Not
a plan. That's an interesting.
About Crimea. For the first time, the idea of annexation of Crimea turned up in Kremlin in December 2013, 3 months ahead of the annexation. You know, yeah, that's strategical thinking.
By comparison to what's happening,
that's like saying Trump had a plan. His plan was, I'm going to run for president.
Yeah,
he had no plan.
Yeah, exactly. 3 months before, having something 3 months of thought is so much more of a plan than anything we're seeing in the United States.
For the first decade of his presidency, Putin was telling during every internal meeting in Kremlin administration that we must do something about Ukraine, otherwise we're going to lose it. That's his quotation.
Well, he also tried to join NATO,
yes,
which was
in the beginning.
Was it a mistake to stop him from doing that?
He didn't want to lose Ukraine, but not to take one little piece of it and just to become hated by the whole nation. He really wanted to feel respected. He wanted Russia to become part of NATO and to be invited to NATO. He asked ex-Secretary General Lord Robertson, and he got the answer, there is certain procedure, just fill the application form and stand in a line after Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia. They have already applied. Yeah, he felt humiliated, yeah, and that feeling of being humiliated when you're president of like ex-Russian Empire is not the best feeling. That spoiled his psychology. He really wanted to be treated as an equal partner. He felt that he is neglected, and now his mission is accomplished. Now he's great. He's considered to make Russia great again, and he is considered to be a great leader.
Okay, well, I'm going to pause you there because we've got another question on this topic, and before you jump into it, I'll go to Thomas Hodgson.
Mr. Zygar, in your recent book, All the Kremlin's Men, you painted the picture of Vladimir Putin as a weary leader who painfully constructs an image of a strong man set to lead the nation. In your experience as a member of the Russian media, to what extent will he go to protect that image?
You know, Russian government has almost all the media under its control. There wasn't a strategy to exterminate all the independent media, but it happened accidentally. First, after he became president, he decided that he doesn't like one oligarch who owns one TV channel, and it's better just to take the TV channel away. And it became better. And he felt that the taste of a revenge against the enemy. And then, step by step, it was a long way. Now we don't have any independent. We almost don't have independent TV channels. We have no statistics. That's very important.
Well, you have. Can I just interrupt? You do have one statistic that Putin's people keep talking about, which is 86% popularity.
Everyone is talking about that. All the foreign media. Yeah. No, we don't have statistics.
You're saying they're made up, those statistics?
Officially, 86% approve of Mr. Putin, but as I don't know how it happens in your countries, when landline phone is ringing and you pick up the receiver, that means that you are at home during the daytime, and you're asked, are you Mikhail Viktorovich Zygar, and you were born 31st of January, blah, 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 and your passport number is, and then you stand up, and you know that everything that you say is recorded, and they know who you are, and just that number we've got.
Pay attention, Malcolm Turnbull.
That number we've got means that at least 14% dared to confess they don't like Mr. Putin.
Let's bring it. I want to bring Mona's obviously